Yeah, McKenna, over here to my right is where that church is located, where the bell tower is at risk to collapse. North 8th Street remains closed from the cross sections of Church Street to Skull Street. And now there's, of course, your big orange road closed signs. But then once you start to get a little bit closer, there's these signs that say, due to the potential collapse of the bell tower at the church located at 337 North 8th Street, the 300 block of North 8th Street is closed to both vehicular and pedestrian traffic for your safety. Please do not ignore these barricades or the posted signage. Where that bell would be placed, it looks like there's a metal beam holding up part of that structure and holding it in place. Right below that, it looks like those window frames are starting to break and pull away from the structure. And there is a nearby business that has a sign posted on their door stating they were closed starting on the 16th and will remain closed until the 20th. Now, it's unclear if that is because of this possible bell tower collapse, but we do know the street closure and the possible collapse is impacting the Lebanon Intermediate School located directly across the street from the church. In a statement posted on Facebook, the district says, please be advised that North 8th Street will remain closed throughout the weekend. And on Monday, May 19th, all Lebanon Intermediate School students should use door J on Church Street. Students who use North 8th Street to walk and to drive to school should choose an alternate route. And now it's unclear whether this road will reopen anytime soon and when those workers will be back to go ahead and hopefully fix the bell tower. In Lebanon, Taylor Hess, WGAL News 8.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Now, right now, lanes are closed on Route 30 in York County so that crews can repair a sinkhole. Now, PennDOT tells us these restrictions will be in place until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on the westbound lanes of Route 30 in West Manchester Township. They say that sinkhole opened up along the right shoulder just east of the off-ramp to Route 74 last November. PennDOT spokesperson also tells us work will begin tomorrow on the Route 30 bridge that spans Route 15 near Gettysburg in Adams County. This work will require long-term lane restrictions in both directions of Route 30. So here's what you need to know. Starting tomorrow, the left lanes of 30 will be closed in both directions from Smith Road to Sheeler Road. These restrictions are expected to last 2 weeks, and that does include Memorial Day weekend. New at 6, right now, national gas prices have declined ahead of the busy Memorial Day holiday. According to the Lundberg report, the national average retail price for regular grade fell a modest 2.1% per gallon to be $3.21 during that period. And in the past 5 weeks, it's dropped a total of 12.3 cents per gallon. Analysts say that lower oil prices are responsible for this decrease. And according to AAA, the price for a gallon of gas will cost you $3.18 a gallon. Here in the Commonwealth, it's a little bit higher. It'll run you about $3.30 for a gallon, but in the Susquehanna Valley, filling your tank in Lancaster and York County will cost $3.27 a gallon, just a smidge higher in Adams County at $3.28 a gallon. In Franklin County, gas will cost you $3.22 a gallon, and it will cost more in Cumberland and Dauphin counties, where it's $3.26 for a gallon. Well, let's take a live look now across the Susquehanna Valley tonight on the News 8 Skycam network. Some clouds out there, but I see some blue in Lebanon. It was a nice day outside, a little breezy. Meteorologist Ryan Argenti joins me now. And Ryan, what can we expect going in tonight and into the work week?
Yeah, well, it's going to continue to be breezy, McKenna. Like you said, we have some mix of some sun and clouds out there. Some areas cloudier than others. Some other areas seeing more sunshine. You can see York right now, more so clouds, but you can see the flag in the background there, really waving in the background there. It's been quite the breezy day, quite the gusty day as well. But here's some of those peak wind gust reports that we've received. Shrewsbury, 46 miles per hour. Middletown, 37 miles per hour. And stretching down into the lower 30s range in Manheim, Reedsville, and Fort Indiantown Gap. Quite a breezy day as well. Here's some other highest winds today in Harrisburg, gusted to 35 miles per hour, gusted to 30 miles per hour in Lancaster earlier, but sustaining in that 20 mile per hour range today. But what can we expect for the rest of the night tonight? These clouds will begin to clear. Breeze will settle a little bit. They'll diminish a little bit, but I will expect the breeze to remain through tonight. Sunshine and some passing clouds as we get into our Monday, but it continues to be dry and breezy as well. You can see that's reflected in our 12-hour forecast as well. Mostly clear conditions with lows dropping down into the lower 50s. But I'll have more on the full forecast and when we can expect our next best chance of rain coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Ryan. See you then. Well, let's take a live look now across Rome tonight, where earlier today, Pope Leo XIV was formally installed as as the leader of the Catholic Church. Now, of course, the inaugural Mass drew thousands of residents, tourists, European royalty, and world leaders, including Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Jen Sullivan brings us the highlights from today's historic event.
Pope Leo XIV waving to crowds from the Pope-mobile in St. Peter's Square Sunday ahead of his inaugural Mass, marking the formal start of his papacy. Tens of thousands of people from all over the world cheering the 267th pontiff.
Di comunione.
Speaking in Italian, Pope Leo addressed the Catholic world.
Questo, fratelli e sorelle.
Brothers and sisters, I would like that our first great desire be for a united church, a sign of unity and communion, which becomes a leaven for a reconciled world.
Delegates from more than 150 nations attended the event for the first ever U.S. Pope, including Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, as well as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was also in attendance and shook hands with the new Pope. During the ceremony, Pope Leo received symbols of the pontiff's authority: the pallium, a lamb's wool vest symbolizing his role as shepherd, and the ring of the fisherman, which represents the Pope's authority as successor of St. Peter.
It's all about feed my sheep, feed my lambs, be a good shepherd. So it's helping to make the bridge between people and God.
The 69-year-old pontiff is originally from Chicago and holds dual citizenship in the U.S. and Peru.
Americans are certainly paying attention. There is Leo fever in this Leo moment. So many people love him already.
Pope Leo ended Mass by calling for just and lasting peace in Ukraine and offered prayers for Gaza. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Still to come on News 8 at 6, a ride to remember how this caravan is keeping one man's memory alive after a tragic accident, and the warning being shared by organizers. And this block party in Harrisburg is more than food and games, it's also opportunity, how organizers are connecting the community with valuable resources.
You're watching WGAL News 8.
Welcome back. Today in downtown York, more than 30 attractions, galleries, retailers, and restaurants came together for the start of Sundays in the City, a series that invites residents and visitors to explore the best of the White Rose City. Put on by Downtown Inc. and the York County History Center, today's event welcomed visitors to York's micro-districts to eat, drink, socialize, and connect with their neighbors. Organizers say they hope this series gives residents a reason to get out of the house and into the community each week. An initiative that also helps local business owners who say the more, the merrier.
there's a lot of preconceived notions about coming downtown, and it's not like that at all. Everybody is so welcoming, and there's tons of restaurants, there's tons of cool places to shop. Anything that we can do to increase traffic. I think a lot of people assume that a lot of businesses downtown are kind of closed on Sundays, but there's a lot of us open, so we're all for anything that brings more people out.
Now, during this series, some shops will also have Sunday specials, and admission to the York County History Center will be half off. If you missed out today, don't worry. Sundays in the city will be held each week from now until October 5th. And get this, the best part, downtown parking is free during the event. While the weekend fun continues, this time over in Harrisburg, where the first annual Rock the Block Community Block Party took over the corner of 5th and Maclay Streets today for an afternoon full of food, fun, and games. The event was put on by Tri-County OIC. That's the local chapter of the national nonprofit Opportunities Industrialization Centers of America. That's a group that works to provide adult education, vocational training, job readiness, and career development services. So today's block party helped the group get the word out about their commitment to providing these services, specifically in Dauphin, Cumberland, and Perry counties. Organizers say the inaugural event was a huge success.
Now, the WGAL News 8 Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Brian Argenti.
Good evening, everyone. Back at home watching us now. Storm Team Live Radar Network not indicating any precipitation at this time. Other just some passing clouds at this moment, and that's all thanks to this low pressure system that has now moved off towards the northeast. It's left a little bit of a draping cold front, but this cold front to our northwest is slowly dying as we go through the rest of this evening. So it's going to allow for more of a drier start to our Monday. Still breezy though. Going to start seasonable for the beginning of our work week, but then getting into our Tuesday, it's going to be calmer but cooler. We'll be into the lower 50s to start our mornings, and then getting into Wednesday, that's when the rain will return. It'll be a little bit unsettled as we get into the next few days from Wednesday going into Friday. So let's time some things out for you. That cold front dies out, as you just saw there. High pressure does start to build in as we get into Monday morning. Getting into the afternoon, high pressure continues to build in. Just some fair weather clouds in the off the satellite there, but other than that, it's going to be shaping up to be a relatively nice day for your Monday, and also Monday night and Tuesday morning. Right around Tuesday, 6 o'clock, still seeing the effects of high pressure, but it does begin to get cooler as this low pressure system from the west starts to build in. The clouds do begin to build as we get into our Tuesday evening, and that's just ahead of this next system where we see some showers that are going to roll through for Tuesday evening especially. So this evening, looking at the decreasing clouds, a little bit windy though. 68 degrees is where we'll start to drop down to. Getting into tonight, mostly clear, 54 degrees for you, and then getting into tomorrow, that we'll have some sun and also some clouds, but still going to be a breezy day, 74 degrees for tomorrow's highs. Almanac for the day today, we hit a high of 76 today, and 74 is what we expect for this time of the year. So we're right around par for our highs, but 54 is what we expect for this time of the year. 63 is what we got last night as in terms of our lows. Moderate pollen levels, but that's all thanks to the trees and grass. Low mold levels and good air quality as well. We will have a high UV index. We have about a 25-minute burn time as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures here into the 70s, like we mentioned, 70 degrees in Lancaster, 72 in York, 75 in Gettysburg. But these temperatures, they're not going to be like this for very much longer. So we'll be seasonable for tomorrow, but look at the temperature trend these next several days, dropping down to potentially the 50s as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's all thanks to what's known as a trough that's going to be digging down to over Pennsylvania. That's what allows for some cooler temperatures as we get into the middle of the work week. And here's the sustained winds right now. 24 miles per hour sustained out of Harrisburg, 14 miles per hour in Lancaster, also a 13 mile per hour breeze in Carlisle out of the northwest. And the forecast for the winds tomorrow, in terms of the wind gusts, they're going to be gusty once again, between 20 and 30 miles per hour, right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon for tomorrow as we get into our Monday. And what also goes up are going to be our precipitation chances right in there. That's what I'm thinking. Between Wednesday and Friday is going to be our next best chances of some rain. Could see potentially about an inch to an inch and a half of rain as we get into, or by the time we get to the end of the day on Friday. So one last look at the Storm Team Live Radar Network. No precipitation at this time, just seeing some clouds, and they will begin to recede as we get into later this evening, getting into tonight. So tomorrow, 74 degrees, partly sunny and breezy. Cooler on Tuesday, 70 degrees. But boy, here come those 50s as we get into Wednesday, with rain likely from Wednesday through Friday. Taking a look at Memorial Day weekend, there are some signs that we could see some some showers, although we're still a bit far out for that. We're going to fine-tune those details for your holiday weekend as we go through this upcoming week. Back to you.
In Palmyra, these engines ran and revved in remembrance today as motorcyclists and truck drivers drove in a caravan to honor the life of Zach Long, who was killed earlier this month in a motorcycle accident on Bella Grove Road. Organizers of this say the ride helps them remember Zach while warning others to stay alert and pay attention to the road, especially in busy or dangerous intersections.
Coming up in sports, one of the Phillies' top relief pitchers is suspended by the MLB. Who it is and how long he'll be out. Plus, the Hershey Bears suffer another one-goal loss to the Charlotte Checkers in the Atlantic Division Final. Hear from the team as they are now facing elimination.
Now, WGAL News 8 Sports, powered by Xfinity.
Despite the Hershey Bears having home ice advantage in the Atlantic Division Finals against the Charlotte Checkers, the first two games of this series were played in Charlotte, and the Bears lost both games. Hershey dropped game one on Friday night and then suffered a tough 2-1 loss in overtime last night. This means the Bears are one loss away from being eliminated from the playoffs. Charlotte's winning goal came less than 5 minutes into the overtime period as they capitalized on a Bears turnover. But all in all, the first two games of this series have been close, just like their regular season series. Last night was the sixth game between the Bears and Checkers this season that was decided by one goal.
They're good hockey games. Two good teams going at it. Last night was a 3-2 game. Tonight, 2-1 in overtime. You have to get much closer than that. I knew going to the series that both teams are so evenly matched.
It's tough. You lose in overtime. It's close this time of the year in playoffs. The teams are good. Games are tight, but we believe in that group. We believe we can come back, and we'll be ready for game 3.
With their backs against the wall, the Hershey Bears will play their first home game of the series on Wednesday night at Giant Center. Puck